All right, so I had this conversation last night with my partner, and it started with feeling kind of pulled away from her. And this has been a problem with me probably ever since I started having relationships with people. Because when you're in a committed relationship with someone, it's only a matter of time until they do something that, gets on your nerves, or, there's something that they do that might not necessarily be best for your relationship if it's going to last forever, which is the goal, right? You don't get with someone, I mean, these days people do, I guess, but I don't get with someone if I'm not willing to take it all the way until, forever. And so when these feelings come up and you want to say something, you have to be able to approach the situation in a way that doesn't trigger the other person, but you're also getting your point across and they fully understand what you're trying to say. And for the longest time, I struggled to do this. I think I'm not exactly sure where it comes from, because it really only happens with people that I'm in an intimate relationship with. And it's not even like sexual, like intimate as in proximity, like the person very well and they know you very well. Like it could be really close friendship. Like I struggle to bring these things up because I don't want to upset them. And part of me thinks it's because for as long as I can remember, I've had people in my life close to me who have been emotionally unstable at times. Of course, not all the time, because people have good days and bad days. And this is by no means like talking shit on anyone I've had in my life. I still love all these people and I wouldn't change it for the world, but just trying to understand for me why I struggled to bring these things up. And I think it's because there wasn't any space for it growing up. Like when someone is emotional, you don't want to be piling onto them with all of these things that you think they could be doing better. And it's not to say I'm perfect. I'm definitely not perfect, but it's a lot easier to see the faults in someone or something that they're struggling with from the outside than it is to see within. And I think it's very important for you to have that conversation with the other person and for them to tell you what they think is going on, because it's very easy to read a book that is, a distance away, like someone else. Their internal world and emotions is clouding, parts of their psyche or ego or whatever you want to call it. But for yourself, you're reading it from up here, and you can't read a book with the words that close to you. They're just blurred and it doesn't work. So that's kind of like the analogy I would use. Anyway, I brought this thing up and we worked through it. It was actually a really great conversation. And towards the end of it, I was like, it really brought home the fact that like the conversations you're avoiding having are the conversations you should have and will gain the most from. And after we got finished talking about that thing with her, I asked her, like, so what have you got for me? Because we were sort of talking about that proximity effect thing. Like she could see issues that I have from her point of view much easier than I can. And she said that she can see me benefit a lot from being more open to people, especially in the beginning. And, we talked about it. And even towards the end, like in the beginning, I sort of just shoved it away. Like I am open. But as she began to like explain it more and more, I was like, maybe I am more shut off to other people than I think I am. And I started thinking why that was the case. And I think it comes back to not having trust in other people to be able to emotionally hold themselves stable enough for me to be able to bring my stuff to them so that we could both work through it together. I think that happens a lot with men. And I mean, today's age, I think people men are ashamed to say things. But for me, it's not worrying about what they think about me. It's more about, if I be open to this person, I'm open to the good and the bad. And it might be good now, but eventually something might happen and I can't control that. Like good and bad things happen all the time. And it's not necessarily something you can control because you can't control someone else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Eventually, it can come back to hurt me. And I feel like I've dealt with enough in my life to the point where I was so hurt that I just worked on myself. And I feel like I've gotten myself to such a point now where I'm so confident in myself that I don't need to venture out and get validation from anyone else. But with that being said, I'm still missing the magic that comes from being vulnerable with people, having connection. And I think this year, like some of the highlights of my year have come from meeting new people, and especially who are involved in with the music and the things that I want to do in my life. And the more I think about it, like the goals that I have for my life, they're all centered around people and building a community around the music. Like the music is just a vehicle to bring everyone. Sorry about that. The music is just a vehicle to bring everyone else together, like-minded people, so that we can all be a community, help each other through hard times, talk about interesting things, break ourselves down, figure out stuff, think through things, interesting stuff about themselves and the world. Like life is just so much richer when you're sharing it with other people. And I've been living my life in a way up until this point is that like, I'm going to get myself to a place of complete independence financially. Like I want to become successful financially. And then the like-minded people that I'm looking for will sort of come as a byproduct of that journey. And that is true. But this is kind of what my partner was talking about last night. That could happen faster in a more enjoyable way and a better way if I began that journey now. And I am a little bit, but I'm definitely not as open to new people, strangers, and just random people like I come across, in life. And the world is a crazy place. I'm a big believer in the law of attraction. And I think if you put things out into the universe will bring you what you're looking for and most need. And with the law of attraction, like if I focus on this vision, like the community that I'm building around music, and for us to all come together to be on the same wavelength and just emit love and honestly like change the world from there. Because I truly believe if you build a community from its grassroots that strong, like there's really nothing you can't do. And so, yeah, being more open to the people from day to day is really the thing, come to think of it, that would be blocking me most from getting to the next level of that journey, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. This is a bit of a rant, and it's probably a little bit different to my usual content, but I thought it would be valuable for me to sort of lay my thoughts all out, and kind of I like to say things out loud to sort of force myself to do things. So it's kind of accountability. Like I didn't put all this focus, time and energy into myself to not use that to help other people as best as I can. Like I'm going to leak a little secret. I've been writing a book for the past probably couple of months now. And the stuff I wrote today was just basically about like the gifts you were given in this life. And even just being here in the first place means that you owe everything to other people. Like without other people, everything that you have, like the technology, the house you live in, like the chances are you didn't make that shit yourself. So you owe everything you have to everyone else. And I think if you live your life in a way that is paying it back to everyone else constantly, then that is where you get all the fulfillment from. And that's the way in which you achieve your dreams. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been thinking. That conversation kind of sparked this whole idea within me. I want to be more forthcoming and like transparent with myself and also with other people, and trying to put that out there. Hopefully this kind of conversation might help you or spark something within you that you've never thought about, and start to build this community, The music that I am most connected to, like the music I've made and the music that other people have connected to the most, is about, this type of stuff. And so I want to be able to write about stuff that is actually happening to me, because a lot of times I go to write and I don't know what to talk about. So I just end up saying, you know, what I hear a lot in the type of music that I make. And it's not my experience. So it doesn't come across in the performance. It doesn't come across in the vibrational frequency, like vibe that the song is giving in general. And so people aren't going to really resonate with that as much. But if I'm fully authentic and trying to put myself into the art, like who I actually am, then that's what people are going to get around. And I think really it's going to help me the most, because it's going to help me get over that fear of opening up to people and trusting people, you know, and showing them who I really am. I've got a project dropping this month in a couple of weeks. I'm really excited for. There's some songs on there that are very well in line with what I'm talking about, and all the music moving forward I'm super excited about. Hopefully it can catch some people, like, you know, the type of people I'm looking for and that you're looking for, the people that, you know, you who is watching this video. If you agree with anything that I've said, or this video has sparked any kind of thought inside you, I want to talk to you guys, you know, like if you have anything, even if you don't, even if you just want to talk or have a conversation, like DM me on Instagram, I'll see it, I'll hit you back, and we can have a conversation. We can start building this community together. So that's going to be it. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you, especially if you got all the way to the end. You're a real one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.